Welcome to the Italian Football Podcast.
Serie A hasn't won a Ballon d'Or for a long, long time. The last time was Kaká in 2007 off the back of Milan winning the Champions League that year, and he deservedly won the Ballon d'Or that year. Which Serie A? I want to look at which Serie A an Italian player has the best chance of winning the Ballon d'Or in the future. I think we know realistically that it's going to be very, very difficult for a player to win the Ballon d'Or while playing in Serie A as a current Serie A player. I think the only time that was ever going to happen is if Italy won the Euros or the World Cup. Obviously, they won the Euros in 2020, or rather last year, and Jorginho, but he was playing in the Premier League. If they were to win the World Cup, obviously they're not in the World Cup this year, and there's a top Italian player that is a key player, then they could win the, let's just say 2026 or maybe Euro 2024. There's a slight chance maybe they could win it that year, but the chances of a current Serie A player winning the Ballon d'Or is going to be very, very difficult, because it would need an Italian team to win the Champions League, which is going to be very difficult. We can all dream about Napoli, but realistically, we know it's going to be almost impossible. So I guess we're looking really at Italian players, so somebody that's maybe playing abroad, or we're looking at a current Serie A player that can get a big move to maybe the Premier League or to Real Madrid or Barcelona or someone, and then maybe win it there in the next years. So let's run down the list. Who do you think has a chance, is a potential Ballon d'Or winner in the future?
Just based on his individual skill and his numbers and the way that both of them, two players stand out for me. Based on who they are, the position they have on the pitch, the style of play, how they beat their man, their output in terms of goals, Khvicha Kvaratskhelia and Rafael Leao, they're the ones that stand out for me. But I wonder how long they'll stay in the Serie A. Because I think that unless Leao extends his contract, I think he's gone in the summer. And we know that should someone lose their mind and pay stupid money to Aurelio De Laurentiis for Kvaratskhelia, he's gone. That's just how he operates. But those are the main two contenders for me. I've got a question mark around Federico Chiesa, because that's a serious injury. Can he come back? Can he come back to the same level? Will he, doesn't he risk injuring his other knee after an injury like that? I've got question marks.
And also, he needs to leave Juventus.
Oh, God.
He's not going to win the Ballon d'Or with Juventus. Juventus are not winning the Champions League. They're not even getting in the Champions League. So you'd have to leave them. Yeah, but I think in terms of pure talent, Chiesa does have the talent to maybe challenge for it, but he would, obviously, the injury is going to set him back. Vlahovic, I'm not sure, to be honest. I think that Vlahovic, as a pure goal scorer, I'm a big believer in how far this guy can go. I think he's always going to have someone. I think Mbappe and Haaland as goal scorers as well, even though there's certainly more to Mbappe's game than just being a goal scorer. I think those two are always, they're similar age to him, same age as him. They're always going to be, I think, half a step ahead of him at the least. So I think for that reason, every single year, it's going to be like, well, Vlahovic, are you better than Mbappe or Haaland this year? And I think the answer would nearly always be no, certainly to both of them. And for that reason, I wouldn't put Vlahovic in there. But, you never know. Lautaro, I think he's a step below the very elite, like Haaland and Mbappe. And I don't see him being able to reach the very highest level like maybe Kvara can, and maybe
look, if
Rafael
Lautaro
Leao.
Martinez, the only way Lautaro Martinez can win the Ballon d'Or is if Argentina win the World Cup this year and he's the top goal scorer, scoring like 8-9 goals. Then I think
but then they'll give it to Messi. So
exactly, that's
they'll
exactly
still give it to Messi.
Messi give it to Messi.
Messi will go there. Messi will be injured Messi will be injured on the bench for the whole tournament. If Argentina win the World Cup, Messi is winning the World Cup Golden Ball. and he's winning and he's winning the Ballon d'Or.
I mean, it doesn't even matter if he plays plays a minute of football in Qatar. If Argentina win the World Cup, they're going to give the Ballon d'Or to Messi, and that's that. So it doesn't matter what Lautaro does. But if Argentina win the World Cup, and I think they will, if he becomes a top goal scorer, if he becomes the most important player of that Argentina side, which I think there's good chances for him to be, then I do think that we'll see he has a good chance. But if we're talking in terms of club football, he needs to stop being patchy. Like, he needs to stop going 8-9 games without scoring in order for him to become amongst those, to be considered amongst them, the highest.
Yeah, for sure. The only other one I could make an argument for is Donnarumma in goal, because he's so superhuman. But we know that goalkeepers just don't win the Ballon d'Or. And the last one to win it was Lev Yashin in, was it 1963 or 1964? So we're talking about 60 years, and so I think it's unlikely. And the only other kind of world beat, I mean, Verratti, but they're not going to give it to a central midfielder that doesn't score and doesn't get many assists, even if he's the best central midfielder and the best player in the world. If he was, they won't give it to him. So yeah, I think those are the ones that maybe we can keep an eye on.
Listen to the full show and all other episodes by going to patreon.com/TIFP and become a member for only $2.99 per month.